Writing prompt: You are an immortal man and the last living thing in existence. One day after years of isolation, death himself appears before you. There was no more measurement of time. There were no more events, meetings, or holidays to look forward to on a calendar. Arthur lived in an era far beyond the comprehension of mortals. He dwelled in solitude on a lonely, barren rock. Arthur remembered back, billions of years ago, as he made his wish for immortality. He remembered the warning given to him upon selecting this as his request. You will carry on forever, even after all the stars blink out. The isolated planet he now called home was one of the few remnants of the old universe, one of the only places that was left from the age of black holes. He was the last man standing in a universe that had withered away, succumbing to time and entropy. The suns had already burned out long ago, causing days to blur into nights. The years had morphed into centuries over Arthur's long life, and yet he remained. The relentless continuum had turned him into a monument of perseverance. He'd outlived stars, galaxies, and entire civilizations, left with nothing but echoes of their existence. He looked to his library, filled with books recounting all of the peoples he had met. The books he had written detailed their rise, fall, and eventual destruction. Arthur paged through the books as his last candle held on to a flicking light. Out of nowhere, a figure appeared, bringing with it a smell of sulfur and brimstone. A being as ancient as the universe itself. Death. Moving towards him in a cloak of cosmic darkness, Death called out to Arthur. Are you finally here for me? Arthur asked, his voice oddly calm considering he was speaking with Death personified. I am, Death answered, its voice an eerie lullaby that hummed with the undercurrent of many lives ended, many stories concluded. However, your case is unique. For you, the transition will be agonizing, full of torment, stretching out an equal amount of time as you have lived. Arthur pondered over this. He was now tens of billions of years old. While his current existence was an unending symphony of monotony and isolation, he still enjoyed seeing what will happen next. Experiencing torture for another lifetime was too much. Arthur debated in his head. Eventually, the universe will end, and so will I. I've waited this long. I can wait another billion or so years. I decline your offer, Death, he finally replied. Perhaps it was the fear of the unknown torment, or the residual stubbornness of mankind that made him decline. Death simply nodded and vanished, leaving the man once again alone under the twinkling remnants of a dying universe. It was another 4 billion years until something else interesting happened. The planet that Arthur had found, the last planet in the universe, had crumbled so long ago Arthur had lost count of the time. He drifted, weightlessly, in the vacuum of space for eons. He was jolted out of his sleep by a sudden quake. He could feel the immense pressure building around him, the force of cosmic implosion. He felt himself squeezed from every direction, his senses overwhelmed by a cacophony of raw celestial energy. The roar grew louder and louder, leading to a grand explosion. And then, silence. His eyes fluttered open to the sight of a new dawn. As he looked around, he saw galaxies taking shape, stars being born, and an infant universe unfolding itself. He realized he'd survived the cataclysm and was the first living being in this newborn universe. The man let out a sigh, a mixture of relief and resignation. In his heart, he understood now that his journey was far from over. There would be new civilizations to witness, new stars to name, and new stories to etch in the cosmos. As the harbinger of life in this new era, he found a renewed purpose in his immortality, ready to take on this new universe with a resilient spirit that had weathered the implosion of the last. He was no longer just a man. He was a testament to life's endurance, the universe's very own pioneer.